Hello everybody. Today is the 9th of November and this is what we are doing in class today. So as you remember, Friday we began Islam Notes 15. We only got, let's see here, to slide 11 and talked about fasting during Ramadan. So fasting during Ramadan, during this month, it changes what month it is every year based on the Islamic calendar, and during that time, while the sun is up, Muslims do not eat or drink anything. And the idea behind this is that to do that for an entire month, to not eat or drink while the sun is up, you must rely on God's strength. So this is by all teenagers and adult Muslims will do this during the month of Ramadan. This video is pretty interesting, so you can go ahead and watch that. He's an NBA player who continues to follow Ramadan even during NBA playoff time. So during this holy month of Ramadan, you do not eat, no eating or drinking. You're fasting while the sun is up. You stay away from any sort of what they consider sin or fighting. No lying, no swearing, no wasting time, no smoking. Instead, you focus on the other 5 pillars, and giving alms to the poor, studying, learning, that type of stuff. Alright, for almsgiving, simple as it sounds, they give 2.5% of their wealth to people in need. Alright, 5, the Hajj. The Hajj is once in their life. All Muslims are supposed to go to the city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia and finish this pilgrimage known as the Hajj. And this is a week-long celebration where there's several different tasks. The biggest task is that you go to the Grand Mosque and walk around the Kaaba 7 times. So that's kind of the biggest part of it. And we talked about how the Kaaba is this major symbol for Islam. You also will go and throw stones at pillars that represent the devil. You'll go to this mountain. There's millions and millions of people that go to this city in Mecca to finish this Hajj pilgrimage because, if at all possible, all Muslims are supposed to do this once in their lifetime. This Vice documentary is very interesting. They don't really allow cameras inside Mecca for this. So this Vice documentary has that these cameras kind of snuck in, and this younger Muslim explaining it and explaining what is happening and what they're doing and kind of some of the awesome parts, more difficult parts that go along with the Hajj. Here's an image of part of the Hajj when they're walking around the Kaaba. Again, you walk around 7 times. Very cool. This is again inside the Grand Mosque. There's a picture of what it would have looked like more at the beginning of Islam. Grand Mosque with the Kaaba inside. Another picture of the Kaaba inside the Grand Mosque. Alright, we talked a little bit about this in class. However, the Kaaba is covered in calligraphy. This would be an example of that calligraphy. Alright, Quran and Hadiths. The Quran is the Islamic holy book. It's a compiled list of things written by Muhammad. So we've talked about a lot of holy books in this class. This is the one for Islam. Also important though is this idea of a hadith. And a hadith are things other people wrote and claim to have been said by Muhammad. But you see how that could be 1 degree, if not several degrees of separation. Right? It could be as much as I was standing next to Muhammad when he said this, which would be kind of an equivalent to like the Gospels, right? Jesus didn't write the Gospels. Some people around Jesus wrote the Gospels. But a hadith could be as many separations as my uncle's cousin's brother heard. So that there is the Quran is considered what Muhammad wrote. The hadith, they're not given as much validity, and scholars in Islam give more validity to some than to others. Alright, so there's the Quran. Okay, I usually get a lot of questions about this every year, so I always make a slide for it. Vast majority of Muslims, this is a choice, right? What they want to wear over their hair is their choice to them, right? In Christian culture, you have some people that might only wear skirts. This just isn't that different. It's a way to be more modest, and it's what they want to do the majority of the time, and what they feel brings them closer to their religion. So the kind of the two you hear most about in Western culture would be the hijab and a burqa being worn. Alrighty. Sharia law is the Islamic law. I'll say this over and over again. Islam is both a religion and an empire. Empires have laws. So the Islamic law is God's divine law. There is no one law. It gets relatively debated. It gets discussed. Islamic scholars interpret the laws in a variety of ways. They are mostly concerned with personal and religious observances such as prayer and fasting, and less to do with major national laws. However, governments can function how governments want to function and keep which laws they want to keep. So Sharia law is looked at in many more Islamic countries as, are we following it? Do we want to follow? What parts do we want to follow? So that's their law. Alrighty, the last major thing here is the Sunni-Shia split. So Muhammad again is a major leader. He's both a religious leader and a political leader. And in Islam, that role is filled by what's called a caliphate. They're the major person in Islam. And after Muhammad dies, there's not a clear successor or a clear way that this person will continue to be chosen. And we've already talked about issues with that before. So what happens is the religion will divide over this. In the same way Christianity is divided over several different issues, this will be an issue that divides. So Sunnis wanted Abu Bakr, who was elected, while Shias wanted Ali, based kind of on the politics of the day. So they will split over this issue, and these two groups continue to this day to not always like each other in different parts of the world. Some places it doesn't really matter. In other places it's considered this pretty big divide between these two groups. This crash course video we probably won't get to in class, but we might. Other than that, this is what we're doing today. We're finishing up these notes, so if you have any questions on them, please ask me. Remember, if this video went too fast for you to copy them down in your notes, you can go ahead and look at the PowerPoint under class pages and notes. Have a great day.